Power Circle, we get the check. Dennis Moore, what them feel like, you know, say you're the baddest thing. Hey, yo, run the tune.
Alright, so top 10 producers of all time. Really top 5. Oh, I was asked about my top 10 producers, so we broke it down in producers editions. So basically I was asked what are my top 5 producers that I like right now, and what are my top 5 producers that kind of design my blueprint. So instead of top 10, we kind of broke them down in half, because truthfully, you know, as a producer, and most producers know, or even some rappers too as well, is that we can't really pick 5 of anything, because you're gonna usually end up going over 5. So I can go top 10 here and top 10 there, but that'd be dragging. So we decided to just cut it in half, added a few tweaks and twirls to these answers. I'm gonna start with who pretty much I enjoy listening to now as far as production goes, and this is no particular order, nothing like that, but if y'all know who Mr. Porter is, I suggest you do your homework. That's A1. Next, I would say Derringer. So a lot of y'all familiar with Derringer. He's basically the primary producer behind the Griselda sound, along with Alchemist. Shouts out to Alchemist. You got Jahill Beats. Jahill Beats, basically, I know most of y'all familiar with Jahill Beats. He did a lot of production for Meek Mill and a lot of other people along the way. Shouts out to him. I'm gonna go with Weezy on the beat. Weezy is dope. Y'all obviously know who Weezy is. Weezy got a lot of bangers out there. So I definitely dig Weezy right now. I guess for my last, I'm gonna go Beat Butcher. Beat Butcher did something. Beat Butcher is just crazy. So that rounds out my 5. I also added a 6th man. So my 6th man, if I had to have a 6th man, I'm gonna go with Bink. Either Bink or Hit Boy. Either way, you can't go wrong with either or. So I decided to go with Bink. And then coaches. I added like this format of coaches. So if I had coaches to coach this production arsenal, the coaches would definitely be none other than 1500 or Nothing or the Justice League. So that rounds out my producers and like I said, you know, you can't really go wrong with it's more than 10 producers you can actually name out here. Shouts out to all the producers out there killing. This is my answers. I got more, but this is what I'm feeling right now. So there you have it. Who designed my blueprint? This is pretty tricky. Again, I compiled the list. You see, that's why I got my notepad. See, because I had to really think about this. I was gonna exclude certain people because it's obvious, and it's like, when you pick these gentlemen, it's like usually it's by default. So most producers would say by default, you can't have a list without mentioning, and it's just our thing. And that's you can't go without mentioning Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is he's a forefather, so it's like Dr. Dre is Dr. Dre. And you can name like a lot more. You can say early producers from the beginning. You would probably mention some of them, like the Rick Rubins, the Red Alerts, the Pete Rocks, Primos. The list goes on and on pretty much. I say all that to say this. So I came up with this cool list and a cool way of doing this. Who designed my blueprint, or who am I inspired by to make beats? So here we go. First, I got to start off with Kanye. No particular order. You can't have a list without the RZA. You definitely can't have a list without Dilla. And then my favorite right now, this is my favorite, Ninth Wonder. You know, that's my guy. That's D1 right now. So I'm vibing a lot of Ninth Wonder right now. And for the last one I'm gonna pick, like I said, there's no particular order. But my curveball, you had a lot of them you can choose from, but I'm gonna go with Daz Dillinger. Obviously, you know, people know Daz from being in the Dog Pound and rapping and all that, but a lot of people do know, but for some of you kids that don't know who Daz Dillinger is, or you thinking it's just Snoop Dogg cousin or something like that, if y'all any Tupac fans out there, he did a nice chunk of All Eyes on Me. He did a nice chunk of Doggy Style. He did pretty much all of Dog Food, which is all classics pretty much. With that said, which is why I picked Daz Dillinger, because a lot of my favorite beats as far on the production side came from Daz Dillinger. So shouts out to Daz Dillinger, shouts out to Dog Pound. And as always, you know, you gotta have coaches, so the obvious coaches would be Dr. Dre and Timbo. So that pretty much rounds out my top 10 hip-hop producers as far as blueprint and who I listen to right now. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And obviously, you know, then I gotta ask the question of the top 10, so I might as well give you that too, I guess, right? I guess. So top 10 blueprint. I'm giving you the top 10 I listen to, well, not necessarily listen to now, but who I consider pretty dope that I listen to right now, and then I'll give you a couple that design my blueprint. So is that fair to say? Cool. Alright, so we're gonna start with the blueprint, obviously. So, without trying to not mention a lot of the forefathers, a lot of times we have a habit of saying the same people. But since it's my blueprint, I can say that. So what I'm not gonna do is this, even though they are on my list. So I'm not gonna say Rakim, I'm not gonna say NWA, I'm not gonna say Boogie Down Productions and so forth and so forth. So you kind of get the picture. I'm not gonna say Slick Rick. I'm not gonna say any of that because obviously that's it. So shouts out to all the forefathers. It's not no disrespect to none of those guys. Just that I hold you guys at high regard. I'm not gonna say Big Daddy Kane. Now Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, and Slick Rick, Kool G Rap, and it's like the genesis of it, right? But to round it off, just to give out 10, if I'm gonna go with 10, I'm gonna go no particular order. Big, Pop, 3 Stacks, Jay, Devin the Dude, Scarface, Beans, Jada, Pun. That's pretty much it that I could think of. And it's a few more. I mean, you can keep going on and on. And then as far as the now, we're gonna go with Kendrick, obviously. We're gonna go with Drake. We're gonna go with Griselda. We're gonna go with Rhapsody. Follow that up with Meek, Sci-Hi, Ross, Tip, Nip, Crit, Young M.A., The Baby. Maybe I said that wrong, but I had to name all of them. So that's gonna round off who I listen to, just to kind of give you an idea. There's so many artists out here that's just pretty dope. So I'm gonna pretty much threw some names out there. What I've compiled, and this is what I'm vibing with, and that's what it came down to. And so with that said, you know, this your boy Dennis Moore. You know what I'm saying? I guess I had to say that. So follow me on Twitter at TFE Boss, at Shop Cookup. Make sure you go check out our TikTok. We will be putting something there very soon. The TikTok name is Meet the Seller. Go check it out. We're gonna light it up. I don't know how it works. That's why I don't really be on there like that. But kids love it. Make sure y'all do that. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. I mean, make sure you know it's gonna be a like button somewhere. It should be another subscribe, probably somewhere on the screen somewhere. You know, you might see that. Right now, I'm gonna get back to cooking up as usual. What you want me to do, man? Did I answer all y'all questions? So I'm getting used to this vlog thing. So this is like the producer's kickback. So basically, you know, we kicking back, we answering top 10 questions. Not really too hard, just the introductory. We just sitting here playing with the keys. We finna get back to work. And I thank y'all for letting me do this. I'm gonna look back at the footage, see what kind of corrections we gonna make, if we gonna make any, you know what I mean? It's actually, what time is it now? We at 10 o'clock right now. Pretty quiet, luckily, at this hour. And I hope everybody is out there being safe. This is the quarantine edition. I guess you can call this Producer's Corner, I guess. So we doing a little spin on Producer's Corner, but this is my spin. This is on my YouTube channel. I'm just now getting started. Make sure y'all go to TFE TV and continue to like and subscribe. It's gonna be different content on there all the time. I must say that. So I might as well go ahead and just keep going because we gotta post on both channels. You know, my kids got a channel too, so I might as well give my kids a shout out. If you got kids and you looking for some kid-friendly content, they have fun. They got a brand new intro, brand new episodes is coming out. They got a lot of episodes in the vault that's being released now. If you're looking for an inspirational fix, good family, clean fun, make sure you go to Carol Nicole and the family. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. Make sure y'all definitely do that because obviously we're giving all the channels makeovers basically. TFE TV is getting an extreme makeover. Carol Nicole and the family is getting an extreme makeover. We came up with a couple cool concepts that I'm working with. Gonna start working with the kids a little bit more. I guess I'm supposed to, you know, just give y'all an update. Again, TFE TV is getting a makeover. Again, we're not changing the logo. The logo is fine. We're just talking about the content. A lot of content we have in the vote. A lot of live performances from a lot of shows we accumulated. And a lot of things like, you know, this thing. This is my personal page, so this is the kind of stuff I talk about. So right now, you know, we just kicking back. Right now, quarantining, being safe, chilling, being productive as well because, you know, obviously it doesn't stop. Oh yeah, the other question I was asked, 3 Feet No Pressure. How did 3 Feet No Pressure come about? Basically, 3 Feet No Pressure was a process. Basically, you can go ahead and get that single right now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave a link in the description where you can go ahead and check that single out. Last Night in Cali. It's streaming on all streaming platforms as we speak right now. So make sure y'all hit the link in the description. The link is right there below. You can go check that out. I had dropped a project maybe like a few years ago before that, maybe like a couple years ago prior. It was just like something to put a project out just to put out there in the universe, just to kind of like promote some of the producers I was rocking with. A lot of producers that I might have had came across, networked with, and I thought it was cool to do. So we did it, and it ended up coming out pretty cool. But that didn't really spark the interest, and I figured that, you know, I played a behind the scenes role, obviously. I just happen to know how to rap. You know, I started coming up with a lot of creative ways. It was pretty much a journey to actually do it, which I will talk about a lot more in the coming vlogs and in this up and coming documentary that we have coming along with the project. 3 Feet No Pressure was originally supposed to come out March 9th. For some of the hip hop trivia heads know that March 9th is the anniversary of Biggie's passing. Another thing, I don't want to let the cat out the bag, but I guess I could. You know, when I was a rapper, I used to do a rap every year for the past, I did it for like 22 years straight, literally. Made a song every March 9th, every September 13th. I always recorded a song on those days because those are monumental days and days that I'll never forget. Add on to those days, March 31st, which obviously that's a lot of the new millennials, you pretty much know what that day is, and that's also the anniversary of Nipsey's passing. And we got a lot of clips of that. I talked about it before when we was out in LA, you know, that we kind of made it a little tradition of ours. We have a certain ritual that we do every time we touch down in LA, and basically I kind of touched on it in the vlog. That it's actually being cooked up on the computer, and you'll be able to see it very, very soon when we get off the plane. And you know, you go in LA, the first thing you really think about when you go to LA is number 1, the great weather, and 2, the great plants along with the great weather, if you know what I mean. And when I'm speaking about a lot of these different things is because this kind of inspired the album and to write the album. And not to give everything away right now, but you would definitely understand the concept more, especially, you know, a lot of things that we're doing with this. So this is kind of like therapeutic, autobiographical in a way. You know, I'm not trying to put it out to the point where it's like, I don't know, like I'm not a star, I'm not famous or anything like that. Nor do I claim to be, and nor do I want to feel like I'm some legend or I got these accolades or anything like that. It's just that I'm just a guy that got an interesting path, and I have an interesting journey and a cool story to tell. I think at least cool enough to share without trying to bore you. That's the goal. Truthfully, in my heart of hearts, is just some good music.